Hey guys, Cthulhu here. Today I'm going to show you how to disassemble a version 3 AK gearbox. First we're going to start off by removing the safety lever assembly. On an AK gearbox this just sits on the gearbox, so there's really no effort. Next we remove the selector post, also effortless. Next we need to remove the motor cage. This is held down by a couple screws. First you need to make sure to disconnect the motor from the wire harness. Sometimes the connectors are a little stuck, so I'd suggest using a pair of pliers to pull them off. Next, remove the top plate. This has clips on the side to hold the wiring harness in place and protect it from wear and tear. Use a flathead screwdriver to help slide it off. Next, remove the protective clip that covers the exposed sector gear. This prevents dirt and grime from getting into the gearbox. Just slip it off with a flathead screwdriver. Now we can remove the gearbox screws. The number of these can vary gearbox to gearbox, but the main focus is the front, towards the nozzle, by the trigger, and towards the rear. Next we open the gearbox. I would use a thin Phillips head screwdriver to split the gearbox towards the motor grip. Make sure to ease open the rear of the gearbox. When you can, insert the screwdriver into the spring guide and hold down the spring guide. Then lift up the top half of the gearbox. Be careful, there is a lot of spring tension. Next we remove the spring and spring guide. Hold down the cylinder and lift the spring guide up. Next we remove the compression set and tappet plate. Make sure to disconnect the tappet plate spring. In all, you will be removing the piston, piston head, cylinder, cylinder head, tappet plate spring, and the air nozzle. Next we remove the trigger set. There are 3 parts, the 2-part trigger and the trigger spring. Next we remove the gear set. Be mindful of the 6 bearings or bushings. These can fall off or get stuck in the gearbox shell. There will be the sector gear, the spur gear, the bevel gear, the bearings, and possibly shims on the gears. There is also the dreaded anti-reversal latch. Remove it and its spring. Next we remove the trigger contacts and wiring. Make sure to disconnect the contact spring. Next we remove the cutoff lever. This is held in with a single screw. Make sure to keep track of the cutoff spring. It is very small and easy to lose. Finally we remove the selector plate. This can be slid off. And that is the full disassembly of a version 3 gearbox for AKs. There are minor differences for G36s. I could do a video on those if asked. I will be doing a tutorial on cleaning off this cheap grease. I plan on adding quality lubricants. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.